Today is Wednesday, and I thought, what better way to kind of break up the week, hump week, hump day, but with a Stitch With Me Wednesday. So I don't know if it's gonna be a weekly thing. You know me, I can never like follow through anything I want to do, but I wanted to share with you guys some of the process on this chatelaine that I'm currently working on, and hopefully the setup would be a good one so that you guys can see the process. So today we're gonna work on some, let's see, dense Rhodes over in this area right here. If my camera will focus, so right around here. And yeah, so let's begin. If you are unfamiliar, this is the, like I said, Chatelaine. The title of the pattern is called The Amazing Marie Antoinette Rose Kaleidoscope. And I'm really enjoying stitching on this. It's been really fun. So let's begin. I'm gonna work around here first, and then we're gonna go back and can you guys see it? Yeah, we're gonna go back and do the other ones on the tip of the stem. So dense Rhodes, it's like, to me it's like you just basically go around almost like a clock in a counterclockwise, starting from the very left bottom corner. And you basically do, how I envision it is like a square that includes 4 boxes in total. And in the end you make, I have like a little, that's catching up on the bottom right here, and in the end you'll have a pretty stitch. Sorry if my stand is shaking a little bit. I'm just trying to find the best method to do this, and you guys are actually sitting on the table this time around, and so then you end up having a stitch that looks like this. I hope you saw that. Let me see if I can zoom in some more, as close as I could get. Yeah, you guys can see. So that's one dense Rhodes. We're gonna do like a couple more. I figured I'm gonna show you guys how I do it first, and then I can answer some questions and then do some life updates. So I guess we can talk about life updates a little bit. So I've just been working in my little studio. I uploaded my Flosstube. I shared some things in there. Like, my husband and I are like, we're not even discussing about anything about this move at all. We're just like, whatever, if it, you know, whatever happens, happens. And then I guess que sera, sera. But the biggest thing is like our dog. That's my biggest worry. I went to OKC again yesterday because I've ordered like a ton of fabric, or like bought like a place like a ton of fabric online, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go over there and like pick it up instead of having it shipped to me and pay like crazy amount of money for shipping. And then this way I could see if there's any other fabric that I have my eyes on. So I'm just counting right now, making sure that I am following where the new start is. So I'm working with Water Lily by Karen. So it's variegated. Although this piece is very, very light. Oh, did I miss? I did. I wasn't paying attention. I looked up just to make sure that you guys can see. Oh no, wait. I did it right. And see, I should not be distracted. So yeah, I went to OKC. Spent like the morning up there and then came back before the traffic. And I'm just feeling like busy today. And then today I went to my local quilt store and got more stuff, but I'm not sharing any yet. I need to catch up big time first, and then we'll go from there. It's just like, this is probably the longest list I've ever had. I try to like tackle lists like big batches at a time, and then I open like pre-orders. But my last Flosstube video, I had a lot of people message me about ordering, and so I'm so grateful. You guys are amazing. Thank you all so much for your support. But it also means that you're waiting a little bit longer for your bag. So like I just try to prep fabric, so I know exactly, like I just started cutting it to make sure that I have enough for everyone, because I still have people asking me for a particular fabric combination. Yeah, so speaking of which, I had like a mini meltdown on my Instagram page last week, so if you saw it, sorry. I'm over it now though. Like, I'm just like, it is what it is. It's just saddening. It's just sad. But I'm gonna continue doing what I like to do. I always try to like, whoops. I always try to, I say, stay in my lane. Like, I don't, you know, I respond to people on social media, like, you know, every so often, but most of the time, like during the day, I like just work all day long, so there's really no break for me. So this, hang on, so this part is done. So this little cluster, so we just made 6 little dense Rhodes in 8 minutes. So I'm gonna flip this little thing and try to bury the fabric, the little threads. So I have to edit this part. Oh, you guys can see. So I'm just burying the thread underneath the other threads here. I am using the Artisan Design lap stand, and I didn't do a good job putting back the key snap in it, because it's, when it's backward like this, it kind of tends to sag. It's weird, like the key snap, but it's totally fine like this way. I think I just need to tighten it up a little bit more. Yeah. So we just completed that together. It's 7:40. I haven't had dinner yet. My husband fell asleep on the couch, so I'm letting him kind of take a nap, and then I'm gonna wake him up so that he can eat dinner. Yeah, but I asked several of you guys for questions on my Instagram. So if this is not too bad, like the setup, I can just like whip this real quick and sit you guys on my cutting table and the camera. I can probably do this every Wednesday, like Stitch with Me Wednesday. So then what I'll do is every like Wednesday morning, I'll do like a little question, like a little thing on my Instagram where you guys can put your questions on there. Then I can answer them the best I can. I really enjoyed that last week. It gave me kind of like, actually made me think a little bit, because I was like, yeah, you know what, like I did this and I did that and all this other stuff. So I enjoyed it very much. Okay, so we're gonna go up with the dense rose. I'm just looking at my pattern, making sure that I don't lose you all, and then I can answer some questions. All right, hang on, let me see if I should move you guys. I think we're okay. Can you guys see? So we are, okay, right there. Hopefully you guys can see it. Okay, can you I can start pulling up questions. Oh, give me 1 second. Oops. Sorry, y'all. Let me find this thing. And hang on 1 second, guys. Oh, come on. 1 second. What are you guys working on this week? I am curious to know. I'm always curious to know everyone's stuff. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna screenshot it so that, you know what? This is good. I can actually pull it up this way. So I'm gonna start the questions. I'm just gonna go from whoever asked me a question, and I can go from there. So the first question is by Nathan Grogan 02. Nathan is he actually lives in Oklahoma. And he messaged me on Instagram, and we didn't know chit chat. He's a young stitcher. So yeah, he has some really good and cute little stitches on his Instagram page. And it's under that name I said it's Nathan Grogan 02. I'm gonna try and see if I could do the silver needle retreat, because he said he'll be there. But his question is, how many years have you been stitching? So I would say, like, I've been stitching for about 27 years, like on and off. But just recently, I would say in the last 2 years. Yeah, 2 years is when I kind of like started again. But you know, I would get in like months of where I just stitch my heart out, and then all of a sudden, like, if I end up like making a mistake and putting it down and then never coming back to it, and then, you know, I get that itch again. But yeah, so the past, I would say 2 years have been like very like constant with this hobby, because, you know, I get distracted by shiny objects, and I tend to get bored easily with, hang on, I wonder if I could refocus up there. Trying my best, guys, sorry. So I'm saying, I forgot what I'm saying. Whoopsie days. Yeah, I just been like stitching on it, and I get distracted by shiny objects. That's what I was saying. And I have a lot of hobbies and interests. So, yeah, I tend to, like, yeah, I don't know. I would like get into a hobby, and then I get bored, and then I go, I think I want to do this instead. I'm gonna try doing this, and then, yeah, and that's how all like the things that I've done in life, like the businesses I've done, kind of become. Like I always tell my husband, like, I don't know what I want to be in life. And he's like, what? Like, yeah, like, you know, I'm getting older, and I feel like I haven't accomplished a whole lot of stuff in my life. Like, I've made a lot of things, don't get me wrong, you know, but like nothing meaningful that I could be like super proud of. So yeah, but my husband, like, you know, last night he goes, what do you mean? Like, look at you, you've like made all these bags and all that stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but like, yeah, I don't know. I haven't feel completely fulfilled yet in life. So we'll see. We'll just keep finding what it is. But yeah, cross stitching about 27 years. Yeah, I'm like talking, I get distracted. And I am the last 2 years more because my husband went on a deployment, and I was living in Pennsylvania at this time, and you know, the boys are out of the house. We've been empty nesters for a while, so it was just Chloe and I. And you know, solitude doesn't bother me at all. Like, you know, I work all by myself most of the time, like sit in my studio, whether if it's calligraphy or photography. I would edit pictures by myself. And let me hang on, let me see if I could put something underneath this that would make it stop it shaking a little. Maybe not, sorry. So yeah, that is not helping me at all. I'm trying to determine what causes it to shake. It is what it is. I forgot what I'm saying. Yeah, you know, I sit in front of the computer by myself. Like, my husband is always gone. I eat by myself. Like, like I go to the mall by myself. I do a lot of things on my own. But like the last 2 years when he was deployed and during the holiday season, I was very depressed. I don't know what it was. I was like dealing with some craziness like internally. And so then I like picked up like a cross stitch and, you know, started working on it. And I was telling him like jokingly, like my husband, like, I'm not gonna decorate for Christmas, and if you know me, I love Christmas. Like, I go all out for Christmas, but I was like, I'm not doing anything this year, you know, like, I'm not really motivated to do anything and stuff, so I was like being mopey. So I stitched like Miss Christmas Eve, and I was telling him like, this is the only thing I want to stitch, like I don't want to do anything else. And then our son came home for Christmas. So yeah, that was nice. But yeah, I was like, I was depressed. And then that is actually when I first like stumbled upon Flosstube, is because I was looking at like how to do, I think it was like how to do French knot or something, like a better, like an easy way. And then I was like started like got into this rabbit hole, and I started binge watching. So like, you know, Flosstube, I was like, I don't know if I mentioned this to Pam and Steph, because Pam and Steph were like the first few Flosstubers where I really like binge watched every single video that they had. And at that time they had quite a few. It had quite a few, yeah. And I, you know, like it got me through the deployment because I had something to look forward to. And so yeah, I would just like watch their videos. I don't think I can make another one. And yeah, I just love them so much. That's why I love those two. That's why I told my husband like last year for StitchCon, I was like, I'm going to StitchCon and I'm gonna meet the he calls them the ladies. And I've never gone to like a retreat before, but I went and it's like so life-changing. So now I'm obsessed. I'm gonna go to all the retreats. So yeah, cross stitching, like every time I look at the projects I've done throughout the year, a lot of them, it's like I remember what kind of life, like where I am in life, and the kind of the internal struggles I've dealt with, or you know, or the happy times, you know, things like that. It's like cross stitching has a way of like, I'm like, yeah, I remember when, you know, I stitched this and this happened, you know. So that's one thing I like about cross stitching. It's a long process. It takes a lot of patience, but yeah, it takes you through life. So I have that one project. It's a Mirabilia Lady of the Flag that I gifted my husband, and that's really the only cross stitch I have on my wall right now, because we don't have any really wall space downstairs. So yeah, and you know, with our move, I knew we're gonna move again, and I'm like, I'm not motivated to get anything framed because I know it's just gonna get like destroyed in our move. So yeah, I haven't like done any framing in a while. So that's why you just see my stuff just like sitting there. So yeah, that's a long way to answer. Okay, you guys, oh my gosh, that cut off again. I'm gonna try to keep my talking to a minimum. Where are those questions? Here we go. I'm just gonna go through all these questions because I just answered one question. So second one is by Lucio, and she asked, how did I meet my husband? So yeah, I was home and we went to a bar, my friend and my friend knows my husband, so he is like, hey, why don't you go and dance with him? And I'm like, no thank you. And so my friend was like, come on, just do it for me. And so I was like, fine. So I went up to him and I was like, hi, would you like to dance? And so then my husband grabbed me by my wrist and dragged me to my friend. And he told my friend, he was like, hey, your girlfriend wants to dance with me. So my friend was like, oh, she's not my girlfriend. So then my husband was like, oh really, well move over then. Like he went like he did this like little gesture, my friend. And then he got my number. And then for like 2 weeks, like he was like, he would never like ask me out on a date, but he'll ask me like what I'm doing. And then he actually sent me like one day, like he sent me like a nasty message, and he was like, you know, I don't want to waste your time. I hope you have, I wish you good luck and yada yada. So I was like, okay. And then like a week goes by and all of a sudden he texted me and my husband was like, hey, what are you doing tonight or this weekend? I couldn't remember, but I said, oh yeah, my friend wants to go out. And so I'll, you know, be her wing woman. And so he showed up to the bar that I was at, and he knew I was so like unhappy, like, but I was so uncomfortable because my friend was meeting this guy that she met online. And so I was just basically her like you know, making sure everything is okay. And the guy brought a friend, and the friend kept on like being like super touchy with me, and I'm like, I'm not a touchy-feely person unless it's my husband. Like then shoot, you know, unless I know you and I'm comfortable, I'm not very touchy-feely. So I was so uncomfortable, and my husband was laughing, and he kept like sending me text messages, and he was like, hey, why don't you just come to the bar, this one bar, I'm gonna leave this place, yada 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 yada. So then I went, so I told my friend, I was like, hey, I'm gonna go. And so my friend was like, yeah, me too. So we went to where Don was, and he was waiting for me at the door. And then since then, like, we've been inseparable. So yeah, we just spent like the whole entire night talking, and I knew then, I was like, you know what, you know, he's gonna be a good friend, you know. But then what really sold me with him is like, I like really fell in love with my husband is when I met the boys, because you know the boys are my stepchildren, and I met them and they were like very like well-mannered, and they loved their dad so much. And I was like, you know what, he must be a really good guy if his, you know, boys love him so much like he did, like they do. So yeah, we've been together since then. We really haven't been apart much except for like work stuff. So yeah, I love that man of mine. That's how we met. That's a long way. And then Graceful Stitcher Ginger asked, how do you get so much done in a day? Asking for a friend and a winky face. How much I get, why I have get so much done? I have no children. I'm just kidding, yeah. It's just my husband and I and Chloe Bear, and she's so like easygoing, like my dog. She's like a big cat, you know. She tells me when she needs to go out. She tells me when she's hungry. So yeah, and so my husband is always at work, so it's like I'm always by myself here. And if I'm not committed to like an event or like volunteer work, you know, I'm a homebody, so I just stay here at home. But yeah, and I also stay up very late at night because I can't sleep. And then I just like, I also like lately been skipping lunch. Like I haven't been eating until like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And then I just work nonstop. My house is not like spick and span right now, you know, it could use a bit of cleaning, but yeah, and I also like been really bad because I haven't been cooking. Because it's just my husband and I, and it's like, and especially when he was gone for like a whole year, it was just me, and so I would just eat out most days, and I would have like leftover, so I never felt the need to like do anything. So it's been like a hard transition to be a little bit more domesticated like I used to. So, yep, that's it. Janae Combs.zt. This is it. This is Janae's Instagram. I was talking about Janae the other day on my on my Flosstube, but she asked, "Are you taking your dog with you to Germany?" Absolutely, I am taking her. I am not leaving her behind. I already told Don that if I can't take my dog, he's gonna have to go by himself because I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving my fur child behind. She's my daughter. She's my only thing who loves me unconditionally, and yeah, I would never leave her behind. So she's my biggest worry when it comes to moving because she is, you know, getting older. She's also has a torn ACL, and so it's hard for her to go up and down the stairs. So yeah, so she doesn't really travel, like, you know, she gets into my car, but that's it. So she's very spoiled, my little child, but she's such a good dog that she only asked to give her prices, and that's it. So yeah, I'm taking her to Germany. I need to go and actually think about what we need to get her started, the whole process. But yeah, I have a lot of friends that have traveled or moved overseas, and so they're giving me advice that's been very helpful. And yeah, so Kef, Kef is hilarious. Keeping up with the Kenyans. Kef, you're so funny. Kef asked, "How can I be as perfect as you?" Hashtag goals. You're so funny. I'm not perfect at all. Like, not even close. Um, you're so funny, Kev. I really miss you and Debbie. I can't wait to see you guys at TishCon. It's gonna be awesome. Like, I'm looking forward to it. I'm super duper excited. So, no, I'm not perfect, girl. You should see my house right now. It's like a mess. I need to organize it. My sewing studio is a mess. So, yeah. Maybe tomorrow I'll like do some vacuuming and downstairs or something. Next question is by Jill Z Stitches. What got you into cross stitch and making bags? So, cross stitching wise, I got into it when I was younger. I had a nanny, and she would cross stitch for hours and hours, and that's where I learned how to cross stitch. And yeah, I got fascinated by it. Loved like doing like the ladies, and so it really speaks to my creative heart. So yeah, that is how I got started. And as far as making bags, oh my gosh, it's like it's a what do you call that? Unhappy accident. I made a bag for me, and then I made a bag for Pam and Steph and some of my friends, and I posted some on my Instagram, and then everybody would like message me and they wanted one. And so yeah, it's been that way since it's, you know, it's not like it's a very recent thing, my bag making thing. And then like I said, it's a hobby. So, you know, if I'm not happy with it anymore, then I'm gonna stop, and I'm really grateful that I can do that. So yeah, that's how I got into making bags. It wasn't like I plan on being this bag lady. It just kind of happened. JSR944 asked, you do some many creative things like calligraphy, photography, stitching, etc. Do you have a fave? I don't, so yeah, I don't really have a favorite. I love both. I love them all equally. they all have different sides to it that I enjoy doing. So with photography, I still do it. I second shoot weddings for my friend Sarah, and she's a photographer down in like North Texas. So because I knew that our time here in Fort Sill is short, that there wasn't really point of me of like establishing clients and finding my ideal client, and I don't really want to do destination weddings because that's harder. So to keep me kind of like still going with my other passion in life, I second shoot a wedding for her at least once a month. So I drive down there and I just second shoot. I don't do much of the editing. I can do some editing for my portfolio, but yeah, I don't like have to do the actual edits for the bride and the groom, and so it gives me the creative like leeway to do whatever. And she, you know, she's been so good at like trusting me and stuff. So yeah, I've enjoyed doing that. It's been a fun. Maybe when we go and move to Germany, I'll do more of that. But yeah, no, it just depends. Like our life here in Fort Sill is really busy, and yeah, I just didn't want to do that. And really, the ideal market for my ideal client and bride is not here, because the aesthetic that I'm looking for is more high-end, because I shoot high-end, like I shoot film photography. So they call it hybrid photography, where you shoot both film and digital, and then you match your digital with your film scans from your film camera. So you know, it is an investment, and I started doing that when my husband was deployed. I just like decided, like I knew this one really good photographer was going to be in Washington DC, and he had an open slot for his workshop. So then I like, so, you know, drove there for like a weekend, and I took the class and I learned so much, and that was so much fun. I had like, yeah, that's really one of my passions too. If you're interested, you can also see some of my work at Rika King Photography. Yeah. So calligraphy, I teach calligraphy. It's modern calligraphy, and every so often I would have like a class. I haven't done that here in Fort Sill. However, I've done multiple classes in Carlisle, and it's like, you know, it's very easy for me. I already have like, I have like a booklet that people get to take. I kit the whole thing, and all I do is show up, and then they spend like 2-3 hours with me, and I teach them the basics. And then I also have an intermediate class too that I taught. So yeah, 2 hours. It's so much fun. I don't do any more much calligraphy as far as like doing wedding envelopes. Yeah, so I do more personal things now because, you know, yeah, life always gets in the way. And obviously my stitching, I love cross stitching. It is my passion, as well as my bag making. So yeah, you just never know. It's like, that's one thing. It's like I pick up something and I tend to do okay with everything. So but you know, I always strive to always give the best product that I could give my clients, whatever it is that I'm doing and making. And that's just how I, you know, envision it. Is like, I just want to put myself in other people's shoes, because, you know, when you pay for my bags, it's like your hard-earned money. You're giving your full trust and confidence that I would make you the best bag for your money. And, you know, that's why it takes time for me to make it, and all that. So yeah, that's just my thinking. Hopefully that answers that. Colleen asked that she with a sister Lace, what is the surprise Cheryl gets for remembering to get the giveaway? It's a surprise. That's why it's a surprise. I can't tell you, Colleen, that it won't be a surprise no more. So, oh, where was I? Hang on, guys. I went back. Sorry, I just did a boo-boo. Complete boo-boo on this. I wasn't paying attention. No, wait. Hang on. No, I'm right. Why is there one of these? Yeah, I guess I totally got distracted. I never finished one of the dense roads here. Or actually, I'm not supposed to be putting dense roads there. See that? Hold please while I frog it. I was mentioning, yeah, no, it's just not, there won't be a secret if I tell you guys, so it would just be a secret. And you're gonna get something too. I just, you know, I'll set it at my next shipment to you guys. And then ML Ellis 83, which is Melissa. Hi Melissa, how are you? She asked, what sewing machine do you use for your bags? So I have a Janome currently, although I really want a brother, like Luminaire, which is very high-end, like up there in price, like a car. And like I said, I'm not a quilter. I didn't know anything about machines. I literally, like, last year, not last year, but yeah, about last year, when we first moved here, no, like about a year and a half ago, when we first moved here, I was like, not bored, but I was, you know, I always get the itch of like trying something new. And I went into a quilt store because I wanted to make myself a project bag, and I just wanted to see what they have for fabric. And before I knew it, I walked out of there with the sewing machine. And I didn't know like anything about it. I just kind of like, the lady was like, yeah, this is nice. And really, to be honest, like what sold me was the light. I was like, I need to be able to see. I like being able to see what I'm doing. So yeah, I currently have a Janome, but I want a brother. It's not a bad machine, don't get me wrong. It's just, I just want a little brother. I also have an embroidery machine too, a Janome embroidery machine. And I even thought about offering like monogrammed bags, but you know, tell me what you guys think about that. Like an additional, like I can charge you guys an additional fee, and I can monogram the front of the bag for you, or like put like your name on it, like on the lower left corner of like the front where the flap is. So I don't know, what do you guys think? So yeah, that is it, you guys, for my questions. I'm gonna stop here with my stitch with me, but at least we got the dense roads done together, and hopefully you guys learned something while you're watching me and you enjoyed that. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and comment down below if you prefer this kind of video, if you like to do this on a weekly basis. If you do, I'm going to try my best to do that. And also, I will be announcing the winner of my giveaway from my last Flosstube at my next Flosstube, which would be hopefully uploaded on Friday evening or Saturday morning. But I'm recording it on Friday, and I'm going to call it Friday Flosstube. So yeah, hopefully you guys are having a good Wednesday, and thank you guys so much for watching. I will talk to you guys very, very soon. Thanks for now. Bye. Thanks for now. Bye for now.